Hello students and hello each and everyone. Today in this session we are going to discuss the topic itself, sentence and phrase implement. What is that? Sentence and phrase implement. In this topic we are going to learn and know and discuss about how avoid the error from this topic and from these statements. So, before going to learn about sentence and phrase improvement session, let us discuss about what is the definition of sentence and phrase. We can see here the definition of the word is called sentence because of every sentence has consist of a word, a phrase and a conjunction. I mean a clause. So a word, a phrase, a clause together make the sentence fulfillment and make the sentence avoiding error. So before going to learn about sentence and phrase improvement in this session, let us discuss the words sentence and phrase. Ready? Okay. So the word is called sentence. Sentence is nothing but a group of meaningful words which can be ordered in structure, in given respective structure. That is called a sentence. So in every sentence there are two parts. The one is called the subject and the other one is called the predicate. You know very well about subjects. Subjects are nothing but types of nouns. Sometimes the kinds of pronouns are called subjects. Then the second part of a statement or emotion or sentence is called predicate. Here every predicate in a statement having some verbs. They are called sometimes main verb plus object, sometimes helping verb plus main verb plus object. So that is called predicate. So in this session we have learnt about what is predicate and how can we find out predicate in a statement. For example, for the sake of sentence having subject plus predicate, the example of itself is called I bought a book yesterday. In a statement, I is called subject, brought a book yesterday is called predicate. Here the word bought is called main verb, a book is called object and yesterday is called a adverb of time. That's why every sentence consists of two parts. One is subject and the other one is predicate. Predicate having main verb plus object, sometimes helping verb plus object, some more times. That is called a sentence. So the next term in this topic is called a phrase. A phrase is nothing but a part of a sentence. So part of a sentence is called a phrase. So a part of a sentence, no meaning alone. No meaning alone. So the word which cannot be meaningful in a statement. So the word which cannot be expressed its meaning alone, that is called phrase. So phrase doesn't have subject or verb. Likewise, a group of meaningful words called sentence. So a phrase doesn't have subject or verb. Likewise, sentence. So in a sentence you can find out absolutely it is a subject and it is a verb, but not in a phrase. Why? Because phrase is a part of a statement. It doesn't give full meaning of itself. So it has no meaning alone. So when it together with sentence having unique meaning. So when if a sentence together with phrase, there is a unique meaning of the present word is called phrase. For example, a beautiful horse. It is called a beautiful horse. A beautiful horse is called here praise. So before the praise, a beautiful horse, we can frame a statement like I built. I built. We can make a statement before the praise I built. It gives you the unity meaning of the full statement. That is called it is. So I built a beautiful house. So in this statement, a beautiful house is called praise. So before the praise, so we can form a statement I built. It gives you a unique meaning. That is called I built a beautiful house. So without a statement I built, it is called praise. So it doesn't have meaning alone. Simply it seems like a beautiful house, a beautiful house, a beautiful house. When you form a statement before the praise I built, the statement itself I built, it gives you a unique meaning. So this is called a full statement. In this full statement, the part of a statement is called praise. It is called sentence. So the entire term, it is called clause. This clause is called main clause. So here main clause is called I built. A beautiful house is called maybe praise sometimes. So that is the difference between a sentence and praise, and these together how implemented in sentence. Why implemented in sentence? So avoiding some errors in a statement and forming of its structure, we have to know how sentence and phrases implemented in the English language. So likewise, so before going to discuss about the tips and rules of sentence and phrase implement, so you know the some types of sentences and phrase. So the whole sentence can be divided into 5 types. So the first one is called assertive or declarative statements, and imperative statements, and interrogative statements, and exclamative statements, and optative statements. So whatever we want to speak out and whatever the information conveyed to other person who should know these 5 types of statements where we have to use the vocabulary, and the whole basic grammar point is called parts of speech. So here formation of statement and formation of phrases and their use, and avoiding, apart from this, avoiding errors from this topic, we have to know the topic is called parts of speech and the right use of themselves. So the types of sentences, so let us know the types of phrases. So okay. So types of phrases based on parts of speech. As we all know about parts of speech. So by the support of these parts of speeches, the phrases can be divided into 5 types. The first one is called noun phrase. So in this noun phrase, the orientation of the main word is called noun. So in this noun phrase, the noun acts like a noun. Noun phrase here acts like a noun. So in this type of phrase statement, the noun acts like noun phrase acts like a noun. For example, a woman in the window shouted for help. So the woman where she sat, so shouted for the help. So here the example shows you what is the noun phrase and how it acts in the statement. So a woman in the window shouted for help. Here a woman in the window, not a woman. So not a woman is called, it is called noun. It's not a noun phrase. So here absolutely describe the word, the group of words. A woman in the window shouted for help. Here a woman in the window, the whole thing is called is called noun phrase and which has been used as subject in a statement. So a woman in the window shouted for help. So in the statement, a woman in the window is called noun phrase. So the noun phrase which acts mainly in the statement before the verb, it is called noun phrase. The second thing is called verb phrase. So verb phrase is nothing but in a statement and having many verbs and many helping verbs and used according to the structure, that is called verb phrase. Here some definition of the verb phrase: group of main verbs and helping verbs within the statement, that is called verb phrase. So we can look at the example for the verb phrase. Here is she should study for exam. So she should study for exam, she must study for exam, and so and so. So this is called verb phrase. Here she is called noun and should study. Here should study is called verb phrase. And the third phrase is called adjective phrase. So you know very well about an adjective is a word which modifies noun, like that. In a statement which modifies noun, it is called adjective phrase. So here, I am very happy with his work. So in both statements, the adjective phrase is called very happy. It's called very happy. So I am with his work. It is nothing about the statement is called I am with his work. So in this statement, I am with his work and something modifies uniquely. So unique to, that is called very happy. I am very happy. So here very happy, that is called adjective phrase and which modifies the subject and noun, that is called adjective phrase. The fourth type of phrase is called adverb phrase. So you know very well about adverb modifies a verb. We can go through the example that is called they ran really fast. They ran really fast. Here really fast is called adverb phrase. Here really fast is called adverb phrase. And the fifth one is called prepositional phrases. So the phrases which can indent and indicates about time, location, condition, and position is called prepositional phrase. So this is called types of phrases. This is called types of phrases. For example, what are there and what can be shown on the blackboard is called so how the statement formed and how the statement structured and how the phrase can be implemented as a right statement. We can go through these examples. So in this session, next we are going to discuss about sentence and phrase implement by tips. Some tips. So a person who are going to make a statement improvement and who are going to make an error. Next, we are going to discuss about tips for subject and phrase implementation. So, the first tip and the first aspect to make a sentence and phrase implement, the first one is called subject and verb agreement. So, in any given statement, so there should be agreement between subject and verb. So how the first tip and how the first aspect is very useful to make a statement to avoid error, to make a statement corruption. So subject and verb agreement. So you can see these examples like the girl is playing in the ground. The girl is playing in the ground. So here the girls are playing in the ground. So here there is a agreement between subject and plural verb form. Here the subject plural, we used plural verb form. So here we have to know one thing. So to form a statement in a right way, in a structural way, first there should be a agreement between subject and verb. So the next thing is called here. So one of the poems are good of it. One of the poems are good of it. So in this statement there is no agreement between subject and verb. So one of the poems. So the whole thing is called singular. One of the poems. So here, so of the poems there is one is good, not are good. So here mismatch between subject and verb agreement. So before going to frame a improvement in a statement or phrase, so once you look at the arrangement of the words in phrases and a group of words in the phrases and should be agreed with the verb or not, then finally we decide. So it's not one of the poems or it is called one of the poems is. One of the poems is. Here we have to use singular verb form for it. So that is the first aspect and first tip to make a statement, improvement and avoiding error. The second is called repetition or redundancy. So repetition or redundancy means so some words repeated again and again in the statement. So we should avoid them and make a statement improvement to make a statement error. So for example, I return back to Delhi. So in the statement, I return back to Delhi. So here the word return and back gives the meaning the same thing. So some statements consist of repetition. So repetition or redundancy. So we should avoid the repetition and redundancy. We can make the statement correction. Can make the statement from error. So the right one of the statement is called I return to Delhi. I return to Delhi or I comes back. I comes back to Delhi. I comes back to Delhi. So these are the right statements from this given statement. In the statement repetition is there. That means redundancy is there. These two words repeated again and again in the statement. The third tip and the third aspect and make a statement implement there is called modifier error. Modifier error. The third modifier error. The third one is called modifier error. So if you want to make a statement improvement and avoiding error, you can look at the third axis called modifier error. So most of statements not having subject and verbs and sometimes a group of words they formed and used in the English language. So sometimes like that. So we have to avoid this kind of things in a statements. For example, modifier error and sitting on the gate. Sitting on the gate, a scorpion stunned on his feet. So here sitting on the gate. So we never use a statement. Only statements we never use without a subject. So there is no subject. Without subject, you don't use a statement like that. The right form of the statement is called while sitting.
while she was sitting on the gate, a scorpion stung on his feet. So this is the right statement from this one. So don't use sitting, don't use participle forms without using of any subject and helping verbs and main verbs in a statement. So that is called how to avoid this kinds of errors. So we should modify error. So the fourth tip in sentence and phrase implement is called parallelism. So the parallelism is what? So make a sense equality and make a sense similar towards other things for us. That is called parallelism. So you can see the example like that. She likes dance, sing, draw. She likes dance, sing, draw. So actually she make a similarity. She make a emotion similarity towards dance, sing, draw. So in this statement, in this type of parallelism, in the state of parallel feeling and parallel things, we have to use the statement like that. She likes drawing. So the verb we have to use the gerund. It's called noun case, noun plus inform, noun plus gerund. We have to use like that drawing, singing and dancing, etc. So we make a statement parallelism from the given one to avoiding error. The fifth one is called error in diction. So for example, some statements gives the same pronunciation with different spellings and with different meaning. For example, affected and affected. So here affect is and do something hardly and receive something hardly. It is called affected. So he affected. He is affected. He is affected by his friends. He is affected by his friends. So if something is happened, so as an action, it is called affected. And effect, it is called the result. The result of the action is called effect. So there is the difference between affected and effect. So it is the meaning of result for the action. It is the action which is used for the result. So there is the difference between effect and affected. So next and few and a few and very few. So here the word few and a few and very few. So it gives the it gives to us similarity, but in the use of statement is very different among them. For example, few means nothing, no one. It's called few. There is few students. There are few students means what? There are no students. There are a few students and some students are there. So here very few students. There are very few students. See here, there are few students. It means there are no students. That is meaning of itself. So there are a few students means there are some students are there. It gives meaning like that. So very few. So there are very few students means there are some more students are there like that. It gives meaning like that. So there is the avoiding of errors and implement of statements and phrases and by the tip of error in diction. The sixth tip and the sixth aspect to the sentence and phrase improvement and sentence and phrase avoiding error, it is called wrong comparison. So we should go through the wrong comparison of the statement. We have to find out that where the statement is comparison wrong and wrong. So we can see these two statements. We can find out the comparison of the wrong format of itself. Here the population of London is greater than India. The population of London is greater than India. So according to some grammatical norms, the statement is formed wrongly. So we can see that the correct formation of the statement is called the population of London is greater than that of any other city in India. So in this model, in the comparison mode, we have to use after the keyword then that of. So in comparison, we have to use the keyword is called that of any other city in India. So sometimes we have to know the statement in which mode is right one and in which mode is wrong one. We have to know that through the wrong comparison. So most of this wrong comparison, we can see degrees of comparison and its kinds and positive and comparative and superlative degrees. So we can see this comparison of statements and somewhere ground points are called degrees of comparison and report speech and the things is called like that direct and indirect speech. So this is the topic of this session. Of today's session is called sentence and phrase improvement. Okay, this is today's session of the topic is called sentence and phrase improvement. So we can get the topic of sentence and phrase improvement. We have to know what is sentence and how it is formed and what is phrase and how it was formed and how they are going on statements and how you avoid some errors by using of these tips. So there is the final discussion of itself for today is okay. This is the topic itself about the sentence and phrase improvement. So I hope you can get easily through the explanation and tips of itself. And moreover, so if you get the sentence and phrase improvement and avoiding errors and correction of statements in it, we have go through some grammatical rules and some grammatical tense. So thank you very much.